right, welcome to episode 52 of Pass from the Past, and we have probably one of the most distinguished guests we've ever had. He's here today because he's being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. It's the one and only Bill Parcells. And Coach, it's just a treat to see you again.
Thank you very much, and it's good to be back here
Yeah.
in New England, and obviously I'm very humbled by the honor.
Yeah. Let me move this a little closer.
All right.
Yes. Have you been back? When's the last time you were here?
Well, I was here with the Dallas Cowboys playing against
Right.
them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But I've been here just a couple of times to play, but no, I haven't been back.
Because I remember, when the border war ended, and you did that phone call with the New England media, and you said, "Yeah, I'd love to come up sometime and just see a game."
Yeah.
Still waiting. We'd love to have you anytime you want.
I'm in Florida in the winter, late season, and in the winter, and I'm racing horses in the summer most of the time.
Yeah.
But I do like it here, and I feel good enough to come back and see what's going on.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. I know everyone would treat you, like a king if you came back. I can tell you. I know Julian Edelman's going in today, but
I think Fred and I both believe that this is Bill Parcells' day.
Yeah, that was great. And Matt Smith is here too. Matt is our executive
Coach,
producer.
you would never remember this, which I wouldn't blame you. But way back when, in '95, when you were doing the TV show, I was doing the TV show.
Brian Lynch?
Mike Lynch.
Mike Lynch.
Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Coach, you'd won 2 Super Bowls. You had some health concerns. I think people scratch their heads. Why'd you come back? What was it about coming back that you wanted to come back, and why here?
Well, I just love the profession, and it's if you see yourself as something, which is what I do, and it's all I ever did, and those health concerns completely disappeared, and I said, why not? And so I still enjoy it, and that's what I want to do, and so I did it.
But you were picky. How did James Orthwine convince you to come to the Patriots? Because you probably had options, I'm sure.
I did have 2 options. I remember Mr. Orthwine wasn't the one that really talked me into it. I can't remember the name of the fella that came down. I was in Florida. They flew down, and we talked down there. The then general manager was Patrick Forte.
Yeah.
He came on the plane with us. We talked back and forth, got a few things straight, and I said, I'll let you know tomorrow. And I knew I was going to do it, I think, and so we got back to it.
Yeah. So Mickey Corcoran was your high school coach, and I know he was a mentor to you for a long time. Did you talk to him before you came here?
Yeah, but he's a coach at heart, and he wants to see his boy coaching.
Right.
So, because that gives him something to do on Sunday. So, he was all for it. I always liked this area. I live very close to here now, and it's been fun. I've always liked here, and it's a special place for me.
So, go ahead.
When the draft was coming around, Coach Parcells, I think the alleged prognosticators, it's Bledsoe Meyer. Was that a tough decision for you at the time?
Not for me. I had a little contention with the personnel director at the time named Charlie Army. He felt like Meyer was a safer pick. But I watched every pass that Drew Bledsoe threw on film for 2 years. I watched every pass he threw. And when I was done with that reel, I was convinced that's who I wanted.
Yeah. What was it about that reel that...
Well, he's a big, strong guy, 6'5" or 6, whatever it is. And he had a good arm. They were playing in a passing offense at Washington State. And he had a lot of experience in the passing game. And, you never know when you pick. You don't ever know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
But I thought there was a good chance to be successful. He did a good job for us.
He sure did.
The end of the '93 season, Coach Parcells, when you ran off those wins at the end, I think a lot of people here remember the Miami game here at the end of December. He hits Timpson down the sideline. with that long pass. At that point in time, I know it doesn't necessarily carry over, but were you thinking to yourself, you know what, we might be onto something here?
You know, I was fairly confident in the team, even though the record wasn't showing that yet. I knew I had enough good players, and we were getting them every year more and more. So I felt like if we could just keep a good attitude and develop a good toughness and general overall expecting to win kind of thing, that we might have a shot. And sure enough.
One of my crosses to bear, Coach, is working with Scott Zolak today. I love Zoe. But Zoe tells me, so I want to know what's accurate or what's not accurate, okay?
Well, first of all, he's a slight exaggerator.
So this is where I want to
think?
find out if he's
You
really
think?
exaggerating or not. So the way he tells the story is the Minnesota game in '94. You guys are down a bunch. And he said that he went up to you at halftime in the locker room and said, you got to let the kid call his own plays. And I think he tells it, you looked at him and said, you know what? You want to coach the team now? And you turned on a heel and walked away. He then says that after you meeting, you and Ray are talking about, what's going on in the second half, that you said, all right, everybody, here's the deal. Drew, you're calling your own plays. And that you looked at Zoe and said, good idea. Now, that's Zoe's interpretation.
That's pretty close. Here's what happened. But first of all, I had a little visual prior to halftime. We had been in a 2-minute offense for 6 or 7 minutes. So I had seen that Minnesota was just playing one standard defense against it. And I didn't know whether they had anything else. So that's really why I agreed to do it, because I knew we could hurt that one standard defense, because we'd already heard it before the half.
Right. I think they still play that same defense. But I want to go back to when you got here. I know you coached here in '80 as a linebackers coach.
Right.
So you were familiar with Foxborough Stadium and the facilities. But really, by the time you got here in '93, I mean, it had even deteriorated more.
Right.
Like, what did you think about the facilities here?
I already knew about it.
Yeah.
I'd been here.
Yeah.
I'd seen it. I'd passed it. That it doesn't make any difference what the facilities look like if you got good players sitting in the meetings in there.
That's sure, yeah.
So
yeah.
we had a chance.
Well,
So-
speaking of good players, when I say the phrase "circle the wagon," guys, who comes to mind on the Patriots?
Well, Vincent Brown, Tippett,
Yeah,
Ben Coates,
yeah,
Turner and Gash.
sure. Yeah,
Hold on. Maurice Hurst.
okay.
Let me think of somebody else. Armstrong.
I was going to say, what about Bob Cratch, maybe?
Yeah, I brought him here with me. From
I
the
know you
Giants.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. That Armstrong was good. Now
Oh, yeah.
William
I'll
Roberts?
tell you something about him. In my second year here with Bledsoe, we threw over 700 passes. He didn't give up any sacks.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
0. That's pretty good.
Some of the battles he had with Bruce Smith in Buffalo, epic. Epic.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll throw a couple other names towards you, Coach, because those are the guys that, when you drafted them, those are the guys that were really core players for Coach Belichick's area. We're talking about guys like Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, Ty Law.
You're talking about my boys.
Ted
now.
Johnson.
Ted Johnson, Ty Law.
I know.
Lawyer
I know.
Malloy. Adam Vinatieri, who Fred and I believe should be here with you today going into the Patriots Hall of Fame.
Right.
And Fred, what's the little guy's name that was drafted out of Marshall? I know there's a really famous wide receiver from Marshall
Bryant.
University.
Yeah. I think he's one of the smartest football players I've ever
Who,
been
Troy?
around. Troy.
best.
Football IQ.
You know how we got him at the Patriots? I'm going to tell you a true story. My friend Jim Donnan, who I knew from years, was the head coach at Marshall. This was right close to the end of the draft. I never heard of him.
Yeah.
So he called me up. He said, Bill, I got a little returner down here. He said he caught 100 balls for us. He said, you might need to come down and look at him. I sent Bobby Greer down. I said, Bobby, I want to know one thing. Can he be our punt returner? Comes back. He said, I think he can. We drafted him in the last
Eighth round.
It's eighth round.
I think it was
back
eighth round back then.
Right.
way back
right,
at the end.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
Now he was back and forth though.
he was like on the.
yeah.
I know.
Right. Yeah.
I know he was back and forth, but he finally developed his own niche and became a slot, third receiver, and
Yeah.
you know, I loved him.
No, and like I said, he had such a high football IQ.
I know he's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were still in it at the time, so you're dealing with your own team and everything like that. Were you able at the time to like take a little look back and go, wow, look at what Troy Brown developed into. Look at what Teddy Bruschi developed
You couldn't
into.
miss him. He was all over the highlights,
Right.
Yeah.
all
Right.
over the film on TV, all the game film. Still in it. I'm watching.
Right.
Yeah.
Source of pride for you, Coach?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all of them.
Right.
Oh, and
Bruschi, McGinnis. Are you kidding me? I love McGinnis.
Yeah.
And I know there's just so many. Curtis Martin.
Curtis
you
Martin.
you know?
Oh, I
my
want to talk
boy.
about him in a second. But
Right.
I remember that first time I met you. You told me coaching is teaching.
Yep.
And I'll never forget that time. I was at Bryant College, and it was after practice. Ty Law had just been drafted, and you were working with him on the sideline because you noticed that when he was one-on-one deep, he was going up with this hand instead of the other hand. And you showed him how if you go up with the other hand, you gain at least a foot
Yeah, height-wise.
height-wise.
Right,
And
yeah.
I remember that, and I'm like, yeah, coaching is teaching.
Yeah, that's right.
Coaching is teaching.
Yep, I liked him too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Take a busload of all those and
Yeah.
let's go
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah. And with Bruschi, when he got here, he was a pass rusher.
Right.
But you had to teach him, you got to drop back because we're going to make you more of a linebacker.
Well, when we drafted him, we didn't know what we were going to do with him, but we knew he could at least play special teams for sure.
Yep.
And so we started with that premise, and then we worked him into the nickel defense, and pretty soon he was playing regular in the nickel.
Yeah.
Now he's on television like a.
I know.
I helped get him that job.
He's a big shot, right?
Yeah,
Right.
oh yeah.
In 96, Bill, was there a time or a game in 96 where you thought to yourself, hey, we're going to be okay. I think we might be okay here. We got something here. I think we got a team that can contend. Do you remember a moment or a game that said that to you, or was it a progression through the year?
You know, that's a tough question. I can't, you know, I coached a lot of games. I can't always mesh them all
Sure.
together and think back. But, you know, Buffalo had been in their heyday, and we were starting to get back control of them. And I knew they were a Super Bowl contender, so I felt like once we started having some success against them, that we were going to have a chance. Now, I want to tell you a story on Vinatieri, too.
Great.
Okay.
We signed him for $500. I always tease him about that. And, you know, I said, how's that decision to sign with the Patriots working out, Adam?
Yeah.
I just talked to him the other day. He just called me.
So I think he tells the story of, like, he's nervous. Matt's here, right? Your guy.
Yeah.
He's the incumbent. And he's sitting there, what are my chances, everything like that. And he says that you told him one preseason game, you're kicking this game. Let's see how it goes. And he made the kicks, had a good preseason game, and whenever it was you made the decision, hey, by the way, you're going to be our kicker. And he was still, is he serious?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be the kicker of this team, and he couldn't really believe it.
Well, the reason he couldn't believe it, 'cause one of the hardest things to do as a coach is to give up a player who has been productive, clutch, everything you've ever wanted, but now he's just too old and he can't do what he used to do. And that was Matt Barr. I mean, he kicked us into the Super Bowl
Sure did.
with one kick.
Yep.
And I loved Matt. I mean, I did. And Matt got it. He knew. And I just said, Matt, we got to try this. I said, if it doesn't work, I'll bring you back.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Is that the hardest part of the business, Coach Parcells?
Yeah.
When you've got a guy like you just said, this guy got you into the Super Bowl, literally.
Well, you know, they're your guys. You live with them every day for 8 hours for half the year, for 10 years. It's more than just coach player. It's, you know everything about them. You know all the issues, problems, family, kids, this, everything. And, So it's hard to give up on them, and especially if you know they're still needy. If they still need the money, if something's happened that they're not smart with their investments and things like that, it's hard.
Yeah,
But you know what? You got to be cold-blooded. The train is rolling, and you are on it or you're off it.
Yeah.
We were talking with Coach Rabel this week. He wanted to talk about it was great that you're going in and that Julian's going in. And he said that you talked to him in 2018. He said you took the time to speak with him when he was just starting out at Tennessee. And he said he gave you some unbelievable advice. And the way he told it, to me, was unbelievable. He said, take these guys out to lunch if you can. If you got a problem with a guy, get to know him a little bit. It's not just enough to bring him into your office and do things. You got to get to know what makes these people tick. And he was saying that's advice that he'll never, ever forget.
Yeah.
It's very nice of you to be able to share like that with somebody in the business.
Well, I felt an obligation. You're a coach. I had coaches help me when I was young, and I made up my mind whenever I had that opportunity that I would follow through, and I have.
Absolutely. Going back to Vinatieri, I remember in practice, giving him the business when he was trying to kick, make it, casting a shadow over the ball or squirting it with water or something like that.
Trying to distract him.
Oh, yeah. So what was that point where you said, that not only is he going to be our kicker, but he could be one of the best?
Well, the first game we played was in Buffalo, and it was September, single digits September. And I remember it was like sleeting up there in September. And so the weather conditions were very bad, and he missed a couple of kicks in the game.
Yeah.
So, everybody's looking at me sideways, including my own coaches.
Right.
They say, hey, settle down. We let him kick the second game. I think he was 1 for 2. He missed another one. So it was getting close. The third game, we had an overtime game.
Jacksonville.
That's it. You got a good man. And we had to kick to win the game. And I remember thinking to myself, I hope you make it, son, because if you don't, you're going to be on the bus.
And he knew that, I think.
No, I think he did. I didn't tell him that, but...
Right. Well, not for long is what NFL stands for. And I think
right.
he certainly felt the heat after the Buffalo game, like, oh, no.
That's right.
Is this what's going to happen? And that Jacksonville kick propelled, I'm not saying that that's a reason, but on his way.
That's right.
On
it
his
was
way.
a good impetus for it.
And was he not a kicker, Coach Parcells? I remember another story that he always used to tell is the Walker tackle in the Dallas game. And he said that you pulled him aside after that and said, listen, well, what did you tell him?
Well, I don't know, but I know he won all his teammates' respects right there, and all the coaches. So he was one of us now because of what he did, just that one play. And, not many kickers will do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Herschel Walker.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You mentioned Curtis Martin earlier, and I want to talk about him a little
That's
bit.
the boy wonder.
Boy wonder, and I remember that first year, his rookie year, he had that first good game, and you came through the locker room, you're like, yeah, one game wonder, because
Yeah,
everybody
right.
was like,
Everybody was all around him,
right,
I said,
one game wonder.
Game wonder. That's it.
But he was something else. He was
The special kid in my life.
on and off the field.
Where he came from and what he became.
Yep.
That makes me cry. I'm sorry.
No, here, go for it, because
I am always in close contact with him.
okay.
There's a few players. This is one of the most gratifying things about this profession. There are a few players that call you on Father's Day.
Yeah.
And he's one of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just tell you, that means a lot to me.
That's really. He doesn't just talk the talk; he walks it. And like, we'd be on the bus, head buried in that Bible. And,
I know.
He was the real deal. And I remember the story. The rookies, they would come and grab you out of your room and cut your hair, and they went into his room, and he's studying in his Bible, and they couldn't do it to him. They're like,
know.
no, hands off.
He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He's doing very well.
And then one of the first things you did when you left the Jets, which by the way I'm still mad about, is is you got him over there with you. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Got to try to get good players.
yeah. And he's the Hall of Famer.
No question.
They changed the rules.
Because
I
of
know,
that contract?
the poison pill. I know. Listen, I lived through it all.
I know. They changed the rules on us
Yeah.
after that one.
Oh yeah. But
you-
smart business.
That 96 Fog game, Coach Parcells, against the Steelers, the divisional round in the playoffs. And the image that I remember is Martin running away from everybody. Hard to see him because of the fog.
Yeah.
Bledsoe's running behind him with his finger up in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a special moment for people here in New England.
I know it
they
was.
were behind the team. They didn't really know. Here comes the vaunted Pittsburgh Steelers. And you guys thumped them that day.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close.
No, it was good. Yeah. I'll tell you a very funny story that happened in the game. Gosh darn it. Rod Woodson was playing right corner for the Steelers. Left corner. And this happened. And so we were on like a full mode attack in this game. And we hit a pass on him down the field that was contested. And he had been smiling at me, okay, before the play. And I said to him, he came back and he just lined up back again. I said, not funny now, Rod, is it? I said, wait a minute. He said, yeah, it's still funny, Coach. It's still funny. Then we beat Terry Glenn, beat him to the 4-yard line.
Yep.
I said, he came back. I said, how about it now? It's still funny, Rod? No, Coach, it ain't funny. It's funny.
So
God almighty.
I mean, you were known for being funny and having those, ways to get to needle your guy. Where did you get that from? Was that just natural or yeah?
Just got to be yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm confrontational. I had a very confrontational mother, highly confrontational. And so I've always been, let's get it out on the table and let's settle it now, one way or another.
So you grew up that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I
Zolak talks about practice. He said the needle was usually out during stretch, where
yeah.
that was a time to bust balls at that point in time. And nobody was immune. Somebody was a little heavy, his weight, you're going to get him with the weight. You're going to get him on all kinds of
I have
things.
to get myself with that once in a while.
But he said that was, he reveres that time and thinks back at that time about that's the special camaraderie that what football is all about.
It is. And you can't explain it to people. There's just something, it's kind of like like a magnet. It keeps you together.
Yep.
It's just,
yeah, and
and it's all fair too. It's if you're sensitive at all,
Wrong business.
right.
no shot.
That's right.
Because the more they find out you're sensitive, they make it worse.
That's right.
So
yeah. And it wasn't just the players. I know media guys, the older guys, and a lot of them will be here today, who revere you because you had a way of handling a press conference where you wouldn't give out any information, but you did it in an entertaining way. And sometimes
we're supposed to collect information, not exchange it.
that was one of the first things you told me as well.
That's what we're supposed to do.
And you had this way, this charm about you that you could needle them and give them a hard time, but they'd still be smiling when you were done.
They had a good press corps here and experienced. The late Will McDonough was a close friend of mine.
Yep, I know that.
Borges and Matt.
Yeah.
They were all.
Yeah.
So I knew them all.
And you had to respect Mannix because he'd do his report
was
card
always
and
on
he'd
my
give you an
case.
F, but he'd be in that locker room the next day, and if you
Yeah,
had something to say it.
He was always on my case.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But you respected him.
I did.
Yeah.
Is he coming?
I don't know.
I don't know.
He's down in Florida. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my guess is you respected the people that were there every day, like not just the
That's right.
one-off guys. The
Got
guys
a
that were
full-time
putting
job.
into it.
Yeah, I got to work.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we
We're good here. We're
Okay.
good. So
But
We've talked
that usually means there's about 8 more questions.
yeah, maybe. On that, we talked a little about Vinatieri. Pro Football Hall of Fame for Adam Vinatieri. Do you believe so?
On roller skates.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be in already.
On roller skates.
Yeah. Yeah. And then our owner has been up a few times.
He's getting in.
Tell me why you think he should.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this, he's getting in.
Yeah.
Trust me. He's getting in.
Well,
Sooner than you think.
yeah. I hope so. I hope so.
You don't have to hope.
Okay.
You say Parcells, so it's
so
going to happen.
you know
happen.
some people?
I do know some people.
And I think this one's probably pretty easy as well, Coach. But one of your proteges, Coach Belichick, he's
I just talked to him yesterday.
Same set of roller skates that Vinatieri's got. He's going in on roller skates.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
When you got out of it, Coach, and you could look at some of the people that you mentored or worked with, guys like Bill, today, guys like Sean Payton, Aaron Glenn in New York, guys that you've had. Is there a curiosity and an interest that you want to see with these guys now that you're out of it?
I pay close attention. All the guys that I worked with that are head coaches, Todd Bowles in Tampa.
Right.
It's just, you can't. It's human nature. You got to find out what they're doing. They say mama's got to know. That's it.
Yeah.
You got to know.
Yeah. It must be great to see them doing well.
Oh,
and,
yeah. It is, Bill. And, I know Al Grove's going to be here today.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's, hey,
Keep shoveling.
that's right. You
Yep.
got to dig.
Yep.
He brought that shovel out there on the sideline and stayed there all year.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
good. That was good.
Yep. Mousetrap. I remember all the things that you
You
used
remember the mousetrap?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. He used to hang the mousetraps when, the media was talking about all this team's not good and don't listen.
Don't take the cheese.
Don't take the cheese, right?
That's
the
right.
cheese.
Don't take the cheese.
Yep. Well, Coach, it's been an honor. It's great to see
thank
you
you very
again.
much.
I hope it's not the last time you come back.
Okay, well, I want to say it's an honor being here, and I'm very humbled by the award.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you being here, Coach, I think it's a very big deal for a lot of fans in New England.
Well, thank you.
They welcomed you back. You're a big part of why the stadium is still here. I think people look at the success that they've had, and it's been tremendous success. But people like yourself, Bledsoe, Kraft, you built the foundation for football fans. You guys, you couldn't get arrested in this area
I know.
when you were playing football until you guys came along.
I was here.
You
Right.
couldn't give tickets away, and now
We
we
have
people.
archery practice in the stand.
That's right.
I use that, by the way, all the time. We sometimes
right.
call it cannonball practice if it's a really
Yeah.
bad day out.
Yeah, people say I bought my season tickets the day that Bill Parcells was hired because
Good.
we had a legitimate coach.
Thank you.
Finally, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. All right, so we have a surprise guest here, the owner, Robert Kraft. So you heard somebody was in town, you decided to stop in?
Yeah. Well, actually, you want to know something?
Sure.
We almost were classmates in college. Do you remember? Is that?
Right, Columbia.
Yeah. See, I couldn't believe it, and I played freshman football there. We would have been on the same team.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
And
Small
then,
world.
They had the Ivy League and Army Navy had lightweight teams. I switched to that my sophomore year, but freshman. And you know what? The last time Columbia won a Super Bowl with this guy Bill Campbell was 1960, I guess,
Right.
when we would have been
We
sophomores.
would have been there. I knew the baseball coach was named John Winkin, and he was the one that really was pushing me to go there. And I was going to play football too, but he was the guy that really.
So can you imagine we would have been on the same freshman? I got a picture
That
in
would have
my
been
office
something. Yeah.
of the freshman. I'll show it to you if I can get, because I have another picture I want to show. You look good, by the way. You really look
Well,
good.
I got to go in the 8-rounder next Friday. I'm fighting.
You are.
So-
no, but I never. So here's the thing. There I was, a fan with my sons watching the Patriots, and we had gone to the games in the old stadium. And then we got the stadium. I'll never forget the last game against Miami.
Bledsoe to Timpson.
Yeah, and the way we won that, you won the last 4 games.
Right.
And that was
I
in
remember.
'93. The first, I went down the elevator, especially I remember Jonathan and Danny, and I said, you know what? We can't let this team go to St. Louis. We got to do it.
I remember.
So my bride said to me, what are you going to pay for the team? I said, the right number's 110, but I'll probably go to 115 to 120, and then we played 172. But you being the anchor and Bledsoe the quarterback, and those last 4 games, it was just an emotional thing. I was going to pay whatever I had to pay.
I got you. I like
to keep the team. No, but you were the
Well,
inspiration.
thank you very
and
much. You're very kind, but
No,
if we didn't have the resources, it wouldn't have got going. So I thank you for that.
Well, think how you changed. We hadn't won a playoff game in 8 years. We hadn't been to a playoff. We never won a home playoff
I know.
game. I was thinking about that because I went to the games the first 34 years. The only home playoff game was against the Houston Oilers, 1978. Earl Campbell ran for over 100 yards. So think about it. In the 34 years before you arrived, they had never had more than they never won a playoff game.
Well, it's amazing to see what this has become, and it's a tribute to you and all your players and coaches, and you know what it is.
Yeah, well, we're
It's hard to do, you know.
No, but you know what you did, and it never
Yeah,
was.
I got you mad at me.
Well, it might have been reciprocal, but
That's all right.
no. But when you think about it, the impact that you had.
Thank you.
Because no, I just tell you, I sat in all 4 venues: Fenway Park, BC, BU, and it just Harvard, and it just, those of us that loved it, you came and created the culture
Thank
and
you.
changed. No, it's true. I don't know that I would have
Well,
been dumb enough to step up.
I was going to ask, like, if it was any other coach and they hadn't won those 4 games coming down the stretch, is there a chance that you would say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this, and they would have been in St. Louis?
I have trouble remembering back 5 years.
Yeah.
So to go back.
Your memory's pretty good so far.
93, it was, I guess, December of 93. We had bought the stadium out of bankruptcy, so we own the stadium. So we're in a suite, not sitting in the metal benches.
Yeah.
And I just remember that, the way we won that and the feeling we
the
had.
last one, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you've had a lot of great wins.
No, but you remember those. That's special.
That was.
Yeah.
I try to get a golf game, but he's always driving. When I don't go down there till our season's over.
You wanna go
RKK,
to
you're
Palm Beach?
Yeah, no, I still go.
Yeah, I go too.
Well, we gotta get a golf game in this year.
I can't play dead in a Western movie.
Your first game as the owner, RKK, in Miami, 94. And I vividly recall this picture, this video. It's pouring rain before the game. You're standing in the tunnel with this guy and Don Shula trying to wait and see before the game starts. Now, it wasn't a great result for the Patriots
No, we
that
got
day.
beat.
The first 2 games weren't
But-
great.
Right, first
But,
2.
but fans will remember, Bledsoe to Coates, that was unbelievable. That was Marino to Fryer that beat you that game.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
you had to see the excitement that first game. You were pissed probably that they lost.
Well,
but
we scored over 30
Exactly.
points.
That's
I
right.
believe. I remember.
You're right.
It was exciting. We had an offense, unfortunately.
Right.
But I'll tell you, in fairness to coaching or our players, because we just were down there again. It's so hot, and for guys who aren't used to training, they're wearing 30, 40 pounds of equipment. I mean, they played a great game. The same thing happened in Buffalo the next week.
correct.
Right, 0-2.
But you know what? It was No, you know what? It was so exciting. And,
Exciting
think
for
about-
me too, you know.
well, we went to the playoffs.
I know, that's good. That's what
We-
we're supposed to do.
Leroy
We
Thompson, Chicago. Remember?
Yeah.
The last game?
Yeah, they
Oh.
got you into the
The
playoffs.
worst part of that season was losing in the playoffs to his former pal.
Right.
Or, former coaching
Yeah.
pal.
Right.
I know, we weren't quite ready though. We had a chance at the end of that game, and listen, this is vivid. Remember this kid we had, Ray Crittenden?
Right, yeah.
Okay, this game's close. We
Was he
get one.
really skinny?
Yeah, real skinny.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, and so we had a chance. If we can make one big play, we might beat them right there. Throw a post, bro. Drew throws a nice post to him, hits him right in the shoulder pad and bounces off. That would have put us on about the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Yeah. Game of inches.
Throw up.
Yeah.
No, but what a game and what a career
Thank you.
you had.
Thank you.
No, and what
Hey,
you changed everything here. You were the icing on the top of the cake. You know, that finished it.
And it was important for you to have
No,
Coach
I-
Parcells
but-
in our Hall of Fame.
Listen.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah, no, and I wanted the fans. He deserved it so much. And look, our fans are competitive, so is a Jersey guy really one of us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that
that's right.
Jersey guy changed everything here,
Thank
and no, brought us a sense of sophistication, and people respected us. I don't think people were ever lived in
Yeah,
fear
well,
of the team.
hey,
And the way
look-
you motivated,
well, look what it's become.
Yeah.
done okay.
Oh.
I mean, I pinch
Oh,
myself.
you should. Well, it's going well now.
It's
and I'm
going.
happy we kind of reconnected.
Yeah, no, and
And I
I'm
mean
glad too. I'm glad this is, and look, in my life, I always remember the people who were good to me when it really counted. And, we might have had our disagreements, and part of it, I was new.
I got
and
you, and I
neophyte,
wasn't patient enough. That's right.
Yeah, but you were also established, and you knew the shortcomings. What could happen is everything in life is a learning curve, but it's important to hang with good people.
Well, thank
and
you.
we were really lucky to have you.
Thank you so much,
and
Bob. Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
and I'm really glad that you're letting us put you in, because you deserve to
All
be
right,
in
well, I'll
there.
see you in Canton.